Welcome back, everybody. So, there is the quiet humming from the small blue orb currently dancing within the hallways of the catacomb, which, in this moment, is the only sound that is heard as the question that had just been asked hangs in the air. The smell of rot and decay slowly moving closer until it is almost consuming all of you. This is really, at this moment, the closest you've been to one of these creatures, as it's slowly moving, bobbing its way past the hallway that you all were just in. After a moment, it comes back, disappearing down the hallway from whence it came. The question still hangs in the air, as we see that there are now several figures along with our group. By you, Deodora, you see a tall figure dressed in silvers and blacks, white hair poking out from a large skull that shifts ever so slightly in its own breeze, skin a pale blue with white markings inlaid, and what looks like a spinal cord of bone is holding plates of armor on their chest, flaying it outwards. A massive greatsword of bone and what appears to be white ivy on their back. By you, Rory, a large ram skull encompasses two black horns poking out from underneath a purple hood and robes. They hold a staff of what appears to be the ulna and radius bones. If you're unfamiliar, it's the bones in your arm, woven together with what looks like purple and red thread. By Astani, a large skull of a buffalo with dark green robes towers in the chambers slightly, and you can see that they have to bend their head forwards. They have two massive daggers on either side of them. The question, which came from this figure, stepping forward from the shadows, is a figure dressed in blacks, grays, and purples. Underneath a blackened hood peeks the white ivory of a bird skull. On the shoulders of her jacket, it looks like small deer antlers of white coral fungus extending over her shoulder blades and outwards like small wings with several white lilies. To their sides are two short swords with hilts in similar black leather with a mixture of white coral fungus and bone interlocked around the hilt, so it almost looks like hands outstretched towards them when they hold them in their hands. Rory, what do you do?
What did they just say? Oh, did they just ask for Blackstone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, essentially,
What are you doing down here?
we're looking for the thread of a bone weaver.
You guys see them like shake their head. They seem to give a nod, and I think each of you feel kind of a prod in your back, kind of pushing you forward. I can tell that this is going to take a bit more discussion, and we have places to go. We will see if you will also be moving along. But our conversation had best not be had here. And she kind of gestures towards the hallway where that spirit is maneuvering. And you can hear quietly still humming, burn, 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 just as you are still talking. You can come with us too. She kind of says quietly to the spirit, and you hear clapping.
Theodore's quietly humming the song too now. It's an earworm.
But you are kind of pressed onwards. This figure, the ones with the wings, kind of in the lead. The rest are kind of interlocking around you also.
Also, can you post the song again?
Yeah, I think it's in the Discord,
it's-
actually. But yes.
I don't
It is.
have it up.
If I could bother one of you to post that for me, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
As you progress through this hallway, again, every now and then, from the three figures that are following closely behind the three of you, you feel kind of these jabs to kind of push forward or to kind of speed it up in spots, or every now and then kind of halting you if it looks like you're about to step on a trap, before they quickly have you maneuver around it. It is pretty dark. There is only one flame minus the blue orb, which in this moment, can each of you roll a d6?
Six.
6. 1. 1. Okay. Interesting. Theodora, at this moment, the blue spirit is kind of maneuvering around you
Mm-hmm.
in this moment. Seems to have like caught on that you're humming it too, and so is like joining in with you of like, close. Yep. It's just kind of joining in on you as you were having kind
We're
of this-
harmonizing.
Yep, a little bit of that. Little remix of it, as you were progressing down the hallway. There is, minus the light coming from this little blue orb, there is a small blue flame that is being held by the figure that is kind of the leader of the group. And
which one is that?
the one,
there were a lot of descriptions.
There were. The one that isn't has kind of the fungal wings on their shoulder blades. That was not posted up behind any of you. They were the one that asked the question of Blackstone, seemingly recognizing them.
So we got purple robes.
Yes.
Bow and sword.
Yes.
Coral shit.
Yes.
Wings.
Green robes and then wings. There's
green.
4.
Oh, green robes. Okay, green robes. Okay.
Yep. There's the larger one, which was by Astani, because I know the question of, well, Astani is quite big. We'll probably need a big one. So
literally did not even cross my mind.
You said that last week. You said it last week. You're like, oh.
Well, that was last week. Why do we think about the past?
Oh my god. Anyways, so yes, there are 4 figures, 3 kind of underlings, and 1 which is kind of leading the group forward. She is currently holding a small light to kind of help guide through the darkness. Gotta say, it's strange seeing a Nornthal down here.
I take the briefest of moments to kind of, just activate the network, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it is just as strange to be here. And, well, it would be nice if it were under better circumstances, but, well, it was a desperate situation.
I see. Well, what have you been up to? And she's not looking at you. She's, like I said, she's ahead of you and kind of walking, but every now and then you kind of see her, the skull that is kind of around her face turning to the side to kind of eyeball you for a minute before turning back forwards.
Unfortunately, having to revisit history because some of it seems to be repeating itself.
Huh. Well, that doesn't sound fun. Though
There were
your definitions of history and our definitions of history, I think, differ slightly. And she kind of leans ever so slightly against the wall where, again, more of the bones kind of are.
Well, I suppose they do. Do you remember the mountain with the petrified trees and revenants?
They do come to mind.
Well, it seems that people are taking to visiting there and other places too.
You've had your
Gather
hands full.
to gather the souls of many, to say the least. To what end exactly, we do not know, except that it is not a good thing and it is causing trouble for this plane and the Vale.
It's causing trouble for many of the planes.
I would like to know more about that.
I assumed you would. Well, what do you have to barter then in that process?
I suppose before we get into that, you should know my companions here are Asani and Theodora.
We know.
In the background, you hear Deodora talking to the little thing, and it's like, so it's not a candle, it's not a lantern.
Nope.
Is it a torch?
Nope.
Is it a piece of paper?
What's paper?
Never mind. Oh, okay. Is it a match?
Paper.
No.
Hmm.
You're close. You're close.
How close? Give me.
Yes, close.
Oh my god. Just not a single
Close
fucking
to what? The
hint.
match or the paper? The which one was it?
Yeah, which one am I close to?
Not paper.
Is it a-
Match. Asani's just like
I hate this bitch. I hate this bitch. Jordan, I'm talking about Jordan, not the little thing. Can't stand. Is it oil?
No.
Oh my god. Okay, that's what you hear. That's what you hear in the
I think at
background.
this moment, can you roll a D100 for me, please?
Ah. 64.
64. I think the little blue orb kind of weaves itself back and forth for a minute and then looks at you and kind of all of you and then kind of gently pokes you in the forehead. And it is
Okay.
cold. Like feels
Oh.
like an ice cube has just been pressed against your head, but you're already not in a very hot space. Like it's already pretty cold down here.
No, I think I established last time that Deodora runs hot like a dad.
Yep. So, I think they just say, thinking too much.
Thinking too much.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's ever told me that before.
Well, I just did.
Okay.
Simpler. You're close.
always something simple, right when you need to think about it. All right.
Forest and trees.
A campfire?
No, I was
Wild. No.
saying more so that it's harder. The closer you get to something, the tougher it is to see it. Like the forest for the trees.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Pardon my interruption in the middle of this discussion, but that was a rather clever way to explain it. Well done.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I heard someone say it as they were dying, so that might be meaningful for you all. Maybe.
Fucking last words be like, forest for the trees! Oh, and then you just eat it.
Well, regarding our partner, what would you ask?
Well, we have information that you might find intriguing. Information for information barter, perhaps?
Very well. And I kind of like filter through information that these people would find interesting. As a Rory, I think this would be me consulting the log of information that I have and like kind of comparing that to like the process is like here's all the information that I have. Here's what I know about Blackstone's relationships in like a fuzzy way, right? Or whatever records they have, and trying to be like, based on what Blackstone knows about these people, what information have I collected would be interesting to them?
Gotcha.
About things that are currently going on in Jorix. I imagine that these creatures are either going to be the kind of people who are like, we're either concerned about things that are locally impactful or things that are like world ending, but like what's happening in Astera, they probably don't care.
No.
Things happening in Felk, not a concern. Things happening in like several other places, unless they're just like, hey, there's this thing that I saw happening here and they're trying to bring that to your house. And then they'd be like, okay, now we have to actually care about that because they're coming into our house and we don't need that over here. So that's what I'm aiming for. What do I want to? Maybe insight?
Okay. You can roll insight. And you'll have advantage because you have met this person before. Couple of times.
I've met this person a couple of times?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay. On insight, we have a 19.
19. The interests of the Orenthal and the interests of the Death Wounds have always been Jorix and the people. Yes, they've been concerned about the outside, but only in relation to how the people of Jorix are going to be impacted, specifically the people that are often forgotten about.
In that case, the information... Well, actually, hold on, let me just...
Death blooms, too, to add on, usually have a little bit of a harder time moving on the surface level, as they're more easily, as you can tell by their appearance, they kind of stand out if they were to be walking down the street in this kind of gear. So most of their intel that they get is from the Graveyard District. And just within that surrounding area, they can't and usually typically don't go into like the Temple District, for instance, or the Grotto, unless it's an emergency. They seem to have some kind of system set up where they're able to get their herbs and other things that they might need here. So it is very possible that they might be needing some intel, especially if they're having a harder time with souls that are being taken. Their ability to speak with dead is also them being removed, as they're not able to gain those secrets.
So the thing I choose to tell them then, and I'll do this part in character.
Sure.
I think I know one bit of information you would find especially interesting.
She kind of nods.
Well, as I did tell you, I am the Bone Weaver.
Right. But you didn't say why.
And I think that information is what you would find interesting.
You offer this up. I'm assuming then you want to know the location of where the Bone Weaver is? Or safe passage? Name your price.
Well, the last Bone Weaver we saw, or the last remnants of a Bone Weaver we saw, were far away from here in among a group of basilisks. So I don't know if we would be going quite that far. That information might be useful about the whereabouts of said Bone Weaver. But as I understand, you are all people of your word. I have no particular concern that if I give you the information I have offered, that you would lead me astray.
You know us death plumes stick to our words.
Then I would ask the whereabouts of Ghelfi and as safe a passage as you can manage to that.
You see she kind of pauses for a moment, looking back at the 3 companions that she's with. Seemingly there's some kind of silent conversation that's happening, similar to how you have your network. You hear low breath, I would say Rory, and it sounds like the kind of clatter. Yeah, you're going in and out a little bit, Sinet, with the filter. I don't know if you might need to get a little bit closer with your mic, sorry. But you would hear kind of what sounds like the sound of bones kind of talking together, like when you move like a skull's jawbone back and forth. Clattering and clicking happening between the 4 of them. You would know that they're doing death speech, which is kind of like a thieves' cant, except for the death plumes. After a few minutes, they kind of nod. We haven't been able to get down to the lower floor recently, but we can get you to the doorway if your information proves valuable enough.
What's going on with the lower floors?
The dead move, as you probably have noticed so far. We know at least it's been impacting Jorix on some level.
We've seen these creatures in other places. Is it just that the dead are moving, or is there this sprite here said that people went down there and disappeared?
Yes.
Is it just that they died?
Died and souls taken. It's cut off our main networks.
Yeah, well, I believe that's the piece of information that Blackstone here is going to tell you about.
Well, since you're down there, and you kind of see there's a little bit of a smile. She knows she's asking this, and the likelihood of you saying yes to it is very low. Well, if you get bored and decide to take them out, whoever it is that's doing this, we would be in your debt.
Oh, that was always part of the plan.
Perfect.
But it's someone's... Anyway. Is it light?
No. You're muted, sis.
Is it warmth?
No, close.
Is it fire? Is it just fire?
Okay. I think at this moment he zooms to where the main leader, who will introduce herself as Lily Darcy at this moment, is holding the flame, and you see the blue orb kind of hold its hands out and then whoosh into the shadows surrounding the hall. This closer.
They put their hands near the fire and then went into the shadows.
Yes. And then from the shadows you heard, this is much closer.
I literally don't. Sorry. Because that could just be a number of things. I did say warmth.
You did?
Is it just heat?
No.
Okay. Theodore is muttering under her fucking breath.
Well, I suppose let us start at the beginning.
So now your volume's really low. Hang on one second. Here, I'll ask this. I will offer this up as a means to get you closer. I won't tell you the answer to the riddle because I know you all want to figure it out, but I will narrow it down.
Is this better? Let's start there.
Nope. It is still so quiet, Boo Boo.
Okay.
With the riddle, you all, and I genuinely mean this, and I see chat too, is like, you're so close. You are genuinely super close. But simplify it further. Let me see how I want to word this. Louder, Sin, sorry. If you take away the burn part, what does that leave you?
Like it within the rhyme itself or the
Mhm.
riddle itself.
Never makes a sound, paves the painted
Ground.
way, always
Yeah.
makes you stay.
A path.
No.
The way you looked was like, yeah, you got it.
No, it's like close. It's one of those you're gonna kick yourself when you realize it.
No, I'm gonna kick you probably because I probably said a synonym for this and you're
No, it's honestly you've been like literally poking at it so close without actually like saying the word. I would have, if you had said a synonym, I would have still said yes.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Okay. Well, I might give up.
Okay, so I don't know how well this thing's going. Wait, there are lights going on over here, so I guess y'all can hear me a little bit better.
Much better, yes.
But okay, you know something, we will deal with. I will talk to production and management later.
Sure. You were saying, Sen.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay. The reason for our journey here is a young lady in Jordan's by the name of Harry, who has been afflicted with some manner of curse that has been slowly eroding both her mind and her soul. And if she dies, not only will there will be nothing left of her, including her spirit. And apparently, a number of people have been kidnapped from droids and brought, by our understanding, to whatever area is in the floors below to be experimented on, or worse, in similar fashion. There may be some common thread to the people that they're thinking, but we haven't been able to establish them.
Understood.
Most of them seem to be either people of some prominence or people that were believed to be the type that no one would notice if they were missing.
Again, understandable.
And for what it's worth, as our history dictates, some people among the, and I put this in air quotes here, the higher ups may also be involved. Have you heard of a group known as the Ouroboros Society?
We've heard legend of them, but not much else. Are you saying that and hinting at that they're the ones behind this?
Tactically speaking, yes. they usually appear to poke or prod things in a direction that serves their aims, but for the most part choose to avoid being either openly seen or more directly, choosing to act through media.
Understood. And you kind of see she glances back at the individual that's behind you, Astani, the one that's in greens, kind of having to push their head down a little bit as you all are moving. Well, that would explain why one of our temple areas down there is been compromised. They're imposing their own religion.
I suppose they are. I'm sorry, a moment if you would. Young one, and he looks
They
at
come
the
zooming
bobbing
out of the
flame.
shadows, like kind of moving their hands back and forth, like they're almost swimming backstroke. Yeah.
You know, I think considering the area that we're in, it hadn't occurred to me until just now. Have we been thinking about burning in terms of things that only a fire does and not something that ice or cold can do? Are we talking about freezer burn, perchance?
Huh?
Probably too complicated a term. I'll think about it a bit more.
They look thoroughly confused. They're like, wait, what? I don't know.
But that is some of the information that we have so far. And we have a reason to believe that the bone maple thread, mostly known as being be used because of its ability to channel the energy to travel dimensions, might be useful in curing whatever this is. And in this case, being used as a binding agent to keep the influence of curse that she is enduring spread.
Gotcha. Sid, I apologize. Can I ask you to take the effect off your voice? I think that's impacting you going in and out a little bit.
Sure.
Thank you. Just as I've been having to read the captions just to make sure I understand exactly what you were saying. After a moment, they kind of nod. Well, that would explain why we've had an influx of individuals moving through our systems recently. Catacombs do have their uses, but unsanctioned traffic, well, and as this moment, as you're kind of moving through and past, you can see there's a skeleton off to your right that looks like it's almost been fused into the wall. Well, and again, you run into those that aren't exactly welcome here. Oftentimes don't end up leaving.
That reminds me. I don't know if you're aware, but someone tried to apply magic to the entrance to the mausoleum that leads here.
We had heard some reports about that and have been using our other entrances, but definitely good to know.
At least to a particular area of the graveyard district, and I think that's where your more problematic elements may be entering and exiting.
Could be. Truthfully, it's like chasing shadows. You kind of hear a collective, like, small laugh between the group. Like an inside joke that has just been kind of shared. Either way. Right. Well, that is very helpful. And would include our interest with you all going down there. So, apologies, as at that moment, sorry, Sailor was crying. The little blue sphere is whizzing around the chamber in this moment as well. Darcy kind of gives a look to each of you for a moment. The Bone Weaver is in the floor below, as are a few other creatures that, much like the Bone Weaver, we ask that you, if you encounter, tread carefully and try not to kill them. And she looks at the little blue one. One, which I don't think is supposed to be down there at all. In which case, yes, you have our full permission and sanction to go ahead and remove them. They are the reason we believe that if this little one, and she kind of gestures to the blue orb moving around, were to go to the lower levels, as well as some of our other friends, they would likely go poof.
About that, what exactly does she mean? Are people just being captured and similar things are happening to them, or is there some other phenomenon?
Mix of both. It's tough to say. Any kind of recon we've attempted to have, well, let's just say when they've returned, they haven't been the most compliant. Quite changed for whatever reason.
In terms of temperament?
Yes. Temperament, goals, alignments. And you kind of see she eyes the one that is currently behind Deodora, who at this moment, every now and then, has been like reaching up to their face underneath the mask. And in this moment, you can see the mask is slightly lifted, and there's a massive, jagged scar that's relatively fresh. Mm-hmm. She seems to be kind of putting some kind of balm or ointment on.
This is a similar thing to the thing that we're collecting Bone Weaver thread for, but also I have additional information for you. I will need to tell you the story of an apothecary. And I tell them about the trying to mostly channel my thoughts specifically to her, because I am trying not to unsettle the whole group of people, right? I use telepathy to directly explain to her the story, the leader, the story of Greenwich and what happened to her, what happened in the village where the turtle priest was, and the things that happened there, and then kind of draw a line between those things to how this is now escalated to what's happening in Jorix and Go. Unfortunately, we have noticed that severe changes in someone's standard temperament are signs of the presence of that society I mentioned. They have a particular signature when it comes to their presence, in that things amplify the, let's say, things that are considered the darker traits of a person, whatever they might be. And those, well, negative, I suppose would be the better word here. And when they reach a certain point, the magic that they use catalyzes and sometimes turns those people into fearsome creatures or worse. And the later it is that you catch onto it, the harder it is to reverse.
Right. And that would make sense. You kind of see her eyeing the one that's behind Deodora, who's again kind of just gingerly touching the scar.
I would also like to offer you as additional information the remedy that we're going to use to resolve that problem. It may be useful to you and I also steal a glance in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
There may be ways that is more immediately useful to you in the death blooms here. So there is that. I have no exchange I would like to ask for that information. This is a condition that no one should be subject to. Well, assuming that they didn't seek it.
And while I appreciate you offering that freely, she kind of clicks her tongue, thinking, unfortunately, with the way that the Orenthal and the death wombs work, that sanction would not be allowed.
Jordan, just a quick note.
Sure.
Does the Orenthal know that I'm here?
Did you tell Benji and the rest that you're here in the catacombs, or?
No, I didn't
think so.
I did not mention that.
Why would we? We're not even here under any authority of the Orenthal. We're here on our own.
Right.
Well,
it was more so to answer Sim's question.
I mean, we're here on our own, but we're here on our own, but and narratively speaking, they don't know that I'm not here as an Orenthal mission. So
Correct.
I'm just going to say, well, thankfully for the both of us at this moment, I am here independently along with these two companions here. Neither of them work for the Orenthal, and technically, at this moment, neither am I.
There's a long pause as she kind of seems to, again, have that kind of clicking noise in between her and the others. You can see the one that's behind Astani and the one that's behind you, Rory, seem to be getting into some kind of argument. And you can see Darcy kind of just sighing and almost, even though you can't really see her eyes, almost just rolling her eyes. As there seemed to be some kind of banter back and forth. From what you can gather kind of off of your passive insight is them trying to assert some kind of power moves over this situation. And after a moment, Darcy just kind of waves her hand, and they quickly stop. Okay. Under the condition that, yes, while this may be off the record, this will not be used to barter in the future. Basically, we don't owe you one. Just for the record.
Well, I suppose, for the record, as you are a group of people who live by their words, then I will say this. Freely given means exactly that, and nothing more or less.
She kind of nods. Well, go on then.
Well, we have to get here is what I intend to do with this. If you don't mind my sharing in this way, I'm just going to. And what they get are what look like in their mind, recipe notes. It's a bulleted list of you take this and you take this and you take this. There are scratches, circles, equations, diagrams that turn into how you distill this into a liquid. And then I just, at the end of that exchange of things, just go, so this, more or less.
Ow.
I don't recommend substitutions, although they may exist.
You can see her holding her head a little bit with the influx of information that just kind of hit.
Would you prefer that I write it?
No, that's quite all right. I think Pavana, and she gestures over towards the one that's by Deodora, I think has taken those notes down. And you kind of see, Has at the moment is with the staff, still everything, while you all have been moving down the hallway very civilly and stuff, the other three specifically have not let down their guard. They have their weapons at the ready if things were to change, because again, the information that you're not here under official Orenthal business wasn't exactly broadcast to them, so it's very much still like, okay, we're okay for now, but we are at the ready to absolutely cut you. And you do see Bhavana is kind of quickly scrawling the information down.
Theodore's like, I'm like, me too, actually, since we're being real about it. Like,
It's like, you are free to fucking try, bro. I literally am still dripping with ghoul and gas nastiness all over me. But yeah, sure, let's fucking nuck if you buck. Let's go.
I just want you to know that song is 3 minutes long and I'm only 2 minutes and 15 into it. We still got a crisp 45 if you want to get into it.
I just think it's funny too, because the blue spirit is just kind of humming and going in between the two of you, like completely like not picking
Completely
up at
unaware
all.
of any of this.
Just vibing, just me when I'm in an ADHD disassociation.
Just
like,
feeling it, you know, just every now and then, just completely unaware.
Do you happen to know people who know how to reverse engineer magic?
No.
Shame. I had another piece of information for you that I think you would find useful. And that I would like to make an exchange for.
I'm listening.
Well, first I should probably explain what information I'm presenting to you. And I pull out, like, cube number 5 in this adventure.
You see their if they had eyes that you could see get big, all of them, like, stop.
Rory?
No, it's just kind of like...
Rory?
Yes.
No. Deodora's thinking about, like, Tyneal and where this came from.
Mm-hmm.
He made all of these.
What, do you feel like that particular information is dangerous?
I think the person that these came from is in danger and giving no offense to you, to all of you. But putting that information out there, just willy-nilly, might not be the best idea.
You see Darcy kind of nods. I'm in agreement with your friend here. Not only that, please very carefully put that back where you found it. May I remind you, we are several stories underneath the earth right now, and if that were to explode in some way, well, I fear even the death blooms wouldn't be able to assist you in that.
Well, fair enough, I suppose. Why do people just assume these are dangerous? They don't do anything unless you eat them. Like, this is a thing that he's saying, like, under his voice as he puts them in a bag. They don't really do anything. It's just activation. I think everybody knows how that works. Wow. You know, here, I thought it would be soul magic. People would be concerned with this is time, or like spiritual sciences. But abjurations. Perhaps I missed my calling in that.
I'm not.
Sorry.
It's not about whether or not it will explode. I'm more concerned with somebody reverse engineering and then being able to, I don't know, scry on people who the magic came from. Or even having a piece of this and being able to scry on the person that it came from. I'm not concerned with the explosions, though I would like to not be buried alive.
Same.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. understandable.
Though I do appreciate you wanting to offer that up.
Well, it is because I wish to ask you some historical information about the relationship between the Orenthal and all of you.
You can see she purses her lips for a minute. Cyrus, chill. As you've been hearing some clicking coming from the one behind you, Rory, with this. Like, as soon as you pulled the cube out, I think you felt the blade even more closely at the back of your neck.
I think Theodore's like, look, I don't know what y'all are saying, but it's clear you're talking shit. Can we just fucking relax?
That's what I was trying to get him to do.
Like, you're not being very subtle. It's obvious. So, but you're free to say it out loud. Like, you're free to say it to my face if you really want to.
Osiris, chill. It's all right. Well, depending upon the information that you're wanting to know, this is me speaking freely and not as an agent of the Death Blooms. I will offer that information up. As a good show of faith, as you kind of see, she's looking in between all of you. She is passive insight. She is trying to find some common ground, but there's also a lot of bad blood that is in it, not only with the Orenthal, but just intruders into these spaces. So she is trying to find a common ground.
I just want to make it very clear. Deodora's not being aggro. It's just like, she's just being very blunt. Like, bro, just say what you gotta say. Like, I don't give a fuck what you think.
Like, it's kind of like, listen, I feel like Deodora's just kind of like, listen, it's not beef over here, and I'm not beefing with you. But if you have an issue, we could just go ahead and put that out here and wrap this up. Like, it don't gotta be all bad.
Baby, this is a one-sided beef. Enjoy your meal, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, medium rare Wellington. What are we doing?
But, well, I noticed a number of markings similar to, right. Magic is a little bit challenging here if we do that. I'm going to try to explain it this way. And they see like a brief image mentally of like the different symbols and things that have been scratched out over here and things like that, and go, now, as you might imagine, I have been, well, you probably do not know this or what have you. Part of why I move as freely as I do is because I have been, let's just say, away for a number of years. And having recently returned, I have learned that a number of things have changed, and, well, let's just say, the relationships that once were are not as they were. I would like to know why.
There's a couple of different reasons. I think there's, again, this is not me speaking as a death bloom in this situation. I think there's been a bit of a rivalry of where the lines are of where each group holds dominion. That's why there's been added security. That's why we, as I'm sure you know, that's why we've upped security a bit. Some of it, obviously, has been indeed Orenthal, and a few of your members that feel entitled. And she kind of gestures back in the hallway that you've been walking through, as you probably have seen. And a few others that seem to want to erase our presence here, period. Now, with the information you gave, not all of it is Orenthal based, and we understand that. But it is difficult when you're already being forced underground, and yet others continue to try and stamp you out. Surely you can understand that.
That I do.
We have maintained peace. But I won't lie. And you kind of see at this moment she gets right up in your face, Blackstone. Some members of the Orenthal have not been as peaceful. And if you need to ask, I would speak to your captain. There's bad seeds amongst each of the groups. We're not perfect either. But I can say, no bloodshed and no deaths have come from the death blooms, ironically, as it is. But the Orenthal have painted the sea with death bloom blood for the past 5 years. That does something to our group.
Is 5 years when the people start disappearing?
No, they started missing about 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
So close, but...
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have nothing to exchange for information, by the way. So, answer or don't. Why do you think those people were still working for the Orenthal?
I don't think I know.
You know that they were working for the Orenthal, or they were just parading as such?
No, some of the members we know to be Orenthal, not parading or masquerading, have been Orenthal members for a long time.
Okay.
But
another
very
question
astute.
I would have. Well, I don't know much about either of your organizations, but it does seem like you both have the same or similar goals. And it seems like the best way to create fighting amongst yourselves instead of fighting those who should be fought is to create discord.
I'm in agreement.
And so maybe those people are Orenthal, but maybe they also aren't anymore. So.
Or may have allegiance to others.
That's what I mean. So, if you're willing to share names, that would be appreciated.
She kind of nods. Names are... And she kind of looks around the chamber for a moment. Especially those names we dare not speak within these chambers, but she kind of eyes Blackstone again before stepping away. We'll get you a list one way or another.
Thank you.
Thank you. She looks at you again, Rory, for a minute. She's a good one to have around.
One of the best, I'd say. Although, turning to Theodora. I won't be here to say this then, so I will say it now. When the investigation finally does happen, if it needs doing, I would like you to promise me that you will give Blackstone the very clear instructions to chew one of those ice cubes when they find whoever's on that list.
I'm sure that Blackstone can make better use of the cube without endangering themselves.
I may make some adjustments to their durability while I'm away.
Also said, I'm sorry, can you up your mic? I'm sorry, your mic be fighting you today. I just want to make sure everyone can hear you.
We might need at least one alive for information. So.
Information, observation, all of the above.
And then maybe a little decapitation afterwards, you know. Put it on a pike, send a message.
I suppose Blackstone would probably think of a different way to use it, and I suppose in a lot of ways that might very well be. I suppose Blackstone would find a different way to use it, and I guess ultimately that might be the difference. I would move things to uncover information. They would do things to protect their friends.
She kind of nods again at Theodora's direction. Are you sure you're not interested in maybe coming on over to the Death Blooms with your ideology that you're expressing?
I'm gonna chop heads off. You know, I'm not part of the Orenthals either. I appreciate the offer, but I do have other places that I need to be once we're done here in Jorix.
You hear as the little orb is kind of at this moment kind of moving through, slow backstroking.
Oh my god. Just
Between
living
the two of you.
living their best life. Truly.
They're so happy right now. It's not even funny.
Worry, but only playfully offended, would probably retort here. Hold on. If the predication of joining the group is on your willingness to do violence, I remind you, AoE violence, summoning arcane lightning energies for whomever is on the list is my top priority at the moment. Well,
I'm sorry, are you
regretted saving the soul of this person?
Are you trying to be recruited? I'm so confused by this reaction.
I suppose.
Are you just mad that you weren't offered?
I suppose I just don't want to be left out. And like, it's one of those, you could see in this conversation that Rory is fully unserious.
Astani, please handle it. Come get your boy. Just kidding.
Literally, like, they're gone. They're in the background. As soon as like the last bit happened, they're just hands up. Like, I have no idea what to say here.
If a cube comes out the bag, we give him 200 feet. Absolutely not.
You said that you lost your contacts in the Temple District? Or you lost ground in the Temple District?
Yes. And she kind of eyes Astani very carefully. I trust that whatever information that we're about to share will not make it back to the Temple District.
It's like a blink, a sigh. Yes, nothing will go back. Because why not share information? All right. And
I mean,
they're just like,
can we maybe say that if it is something pertinent that others in the Temple District need to know for safety, we can share. We just don't have to share the source.
thank you.
I'll allow that clarification. Yes, we do have, amongst several of the temples, and she kind of eyes you very carefully as she's kind of weighing her words, Astani. We do have, or have had in the past, working relations with many of the temples and their districts, or their temple district and their temples. The dead are not always easily moved from up there to the graveyard district. They have to be moved somehow. Families can't always afford to have them transported, so there is often a agreement of sorts that will help to bring those down into the graveyard district, at least. Nothing untoward, but over the course of the last few months, many of our points of interest have gone missing, either from the temple district themselves, on the temple side, or from ours. Which has made things more difficult. And I think you remember specifically, Astani, under several of the meetings that you would have with the other temples, very secret kind of meetings where you're talking about budgets and stuff that are being given, that there was a discussion about the dead piling up and there not being enough aid to bring the dead down to the graveyard district. So for a while, there were burnings that happened instead. Just not enough hands to transport, and oftentimes, too, the families not being able to pay for transportation. Up until recently, we thought, interestingly enough, that maybe there had been bloodshed between the temple district and our side. But after carefully looking into it and seeing that these chambers held no... And she kind of carefully at this moment is eyeing like a skull that's sticking out of the wall right by you, Astani. No whispers from the dead from these as well, and that the situation might have permeated up to the temple district. Well, that changed our thought process a bit more. If there was bloodshed between the two, the spirits would at least have something to say. The temple district, you all, while you do worship different aspects of life, death, and in between, there is sanctity in the whispers from the dead, and those voices are always preserved. These were snuffed out. So that led us to believe that there might be something else going on. But again, in a group that is already diminishing on many fronts, it's harder to get that information and get that observation and research when you don't know if they're going to be able to come back. It's like putting your head under a guillotine. Will the blade be pulled or will it not? And these are vital blood vessels we cannot give up, as they impact our way of life, as you probably all understand at this point. So yes, we have had, and we still do have, some contact within the temple district, but similarly to us, the temple district is also closing ranks. That, paired with your increased presence of the Crown's Guard, well, they're dividing up the city.
Yes.
Interesting. I'm going to minor illusion like a really big tea bug and just go.
Clock it.
And then, like, because at the mention of that, I'm thinking about the thing I had to, like, Phantasmal Force and that guy on that big ass horse, and being like,
yes.
well,
And that teacup is flickering too, if you recall. Doing magic in this tunnel is harder to do.
I'm aware, and I'm doing it anyway.
Oh,
so
I
they
know.
Can see like this magic being in existence, and like I'm holding some like making some like a little bit more effort than usual for a cantrip to hold that bug in place, but it's one of those.
How many days do we have until that tournament?
We're down to 5.
So Temple District is closing up ranks. You all are closing up ranks. Increased Crown's Guards, some of which are
Also
working
closing ranks
directly,
in their...
also closing ranks, as well as creating division amongst themselves.
And especially when we know that people among that level of rank are also somewhat connected to our mission here in the first place.
And then not to mention the city of Jorix. There's division amongst now merchants to your average standard person.
Sowing discord and distrust.
Do you remember
So that
what I said before about that society and what powers its magic? when I say that they tend to be in the role of an orchestrator of things rather than the direct doers of them, I do mean things like this. Wait. Oh, I was not aware of this. Theodora, who is Pithyweather?
Oh, that was the person we killed in Illipin. Just blunt about it. She was part of the Ouroboros Society.
I see. A government official of some kind.
No, a teacher. Or a dean. Headmaster. Whatever the word is. Of one of the universities. So an authority figure, yes.
Yes, it seemed that they had some kind of outsized influence in political spheres for some reason.
Yes, I believe they were pulling strings. They were involved in the Harvest Fest ceremony.
I think I may have been a bit too accurate in saying that certain things in history were repeating themselves. I just did not expect the loop of history to be so short.
Well, people tend to not learn from it, so of course it will repeat itself. Or they learn from it, but they take all the bad lessons. I think the people behind this are gearing up for something like the Harvest Festival. I think the tournament's in 5 days. And does the tournament mark anything, like in terms of like seasonal change or anything like that? I can't remember.
Nope.
It's just like a tournament thing. It's just
a
like
tournament.
A celebration.
What was said by Tenniel was a tournament to show power, because of how many issues that Jorix has been having. There has been some banter, likely from the council, but also hearing it from other nations that Jorix and Ampistrano may be losing their touch a little bit. So it's kind of a show of, hey, look at my right hand while my left hand is dealing with all of the bullshit, and by dealing with it, ignoring it largely. But everything is fine.
Look at my right hand while my left hand jerks off. I think that gathering of people, the conflict that they're sowing in the city, something is going to happen. And they want us divided, so we can't stop them.
Well, they're crafty, I'll give them that. Because they're impacting not only those alive, but those that are dead, too.
Yeah. Well, they're crafty. But I would also say maybe a bit too overconfident.
Oh, I would agree.
And that will be their downfall. If I have anything to say about it.
And if our presence here is any indicator, there are some gaps in our plans, or some gaps in their plans, and most of them assumes that no one cares or can be made to care, and I suppose our presence here means that that's not true.
I would agree. And at this point, for the last couple of minutes, you all have been slowly kind of walking down the hall. And Darcy stops about halfway from where you were a little bit ago. And you see her kind of poking very gently 3 skulls. In fact, the little blue orb is almost mimicking on smaller ones, like doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. Just singing to themselves very, very quietly. And from that, the bones seem to shift and slowly seem to kind of fall in on themselves as a doorway opens. And you see into what looks to be a larger chamber. This seems to be some kind of mess hall, I would say. braziers that are lit, tables of stone kind of around the place. There's not many other individuals in here, and if they are, similarly, they are robed and wearing skulls on their faces. But you can see that there is a main table that's underneath some light, and then there are slews of plans of pieces of paper, drawings, not so much writing, primarily drawing based. Some seemingly have tried to map out some sections of the catacombs, but again, because the catacombs are always shifting, it's a little bit harder to kind of keep track of. You do get some glances as you all progress into the room, as you all have entered into the inner sanctum of the Death Blooms.
I haven't done this in a while. Everything's been happening. Has Sparky picked up on anything as we've been traveling through these tunnels?
No, nothing
Okay.
that's popping out at him. The shift weave here is a lot harder and more stretched thin, I would say. So he's definitely been catching on to and was riled up when the three of you were getting kind of jumped by the 4 individuals, but no, hasn't been picking up anything.
Okay. Just making sure. Has anybody been reacting to my giant dog?
They don't seem surprised, I would say, if anything. They don't seem necessarily surprised. Seems like they've been collecting some intel on each of you to some capacity. So it's not like all of a sudden, whoa, shocker. You do get a couple of glances of okay, whoa, now they're here. But other than that, no.
Oh, the dog is bigger than we thought.
Yeah.
It's like a horse. and they have a centaur with them, so that's wild.
Yep. Pretty much.
Astani and Sparky just looking eye to eye.
Pretty much. As Darcy kind of gestures around for a moment. We can't share you all of our plans, but we can give you this intel, and this will be on the record as the intel that you've given and our conversation has connected some threads together, so to speak. And she kind of pauses, this time leaning on the table. You kind of see she nods her head and makes more clicking noises, and the other members of the chamber, not the 3 that were accompanying you, leave the chamber. She has taken over the space for now. Basically, go eat your lunch elsewhere. I'm taking the room. She pauses and says, obviously, I request that this information not be repeated. There are 7 levels to the catacombs within the Graveyard District. As we've been able to tell, and you've all also been able to tell, main problems are coming from the 3rd level, which, while good, is also bad. The 3rd level for us is where we hold a lot of our temples and where we celebrate. And yes, we do have some, and she eyes you very, very carefully, Astani. We do have some that, of course, follow Her Lady.
Wonderful. I think they're just taking note of what's happening, and I would like to meet with them if possible.
We can see if that can be arranged. Perhaps on your way back up. The lower...
Is Theodora smirking next to Astani?
No. This is me as a player.
Yeah, because immediately Astani's just like,
no, this is me as a player being like, oh, Son needs to go pray. She needs to go seek the Lord.
For a little bit.
Are you two still holding hands, by the way? Have you been holding hands
Yes, never
the whole time? Okay. I need that clarity and clarification, so thank you for that.
They'll release him like, we're all right, but then they'll still be holding hands.
He's like, Yeah, sure. Uh-huh.
Mhm,
And just like pretend to release and then grab it back.
Yep.
Mhm.
The lower you go, as you all have been able to also tell, the harder it becomes to sustain. Now, meaning, and she kind of gestures to the hallway back where you made that teacup appear. It becomes harder to use magic, but it also becomes much harder to be the lower you go. You can feel the pressure in the air already from here. Whatever is on the lower floors is not only just feeding off of magic, it's feeding off of our own essence. The lower you go, it's kind of like climbing a mountain. You'll have to acclimatize. We believe that the individuals that have been missing, being taken by this individual that you've mentioned that may or may not be part of the Ouroboros, or just someone that maybe wants to get their attention, which is also possible. We believe that their home is on the 3rd floor, but they have been able to acclimatize to the lower floors that we haven't been able to get to in an indistinct amount of time, I will say. The lower floors also, if progressed far enough, you will find the rumored city of Bone, which indeed was an entire city buried. Whether that was on purpose or not, that I will leave to the history books and scholars. That or the Orenthal might have more answers for you. Again, she kind of gives a very knowing look to you, Blackstone, in that moment. Either way, you will also find there some answers that I think might be useful to you, but I would say you may not want to go further than the 3rd level this juncture. You'll feel the difference, even just with one floor. So,
City of Bone. Is it as big as the city up top? Or is it bigger?
it's about as big. With what remains, a little more of it crumbles away each year.
How long ago was it buried?
Four or 500 years ago?
When did the cataclysm happen again?
Cataclysm happened about
1,000 years ago?
3,000 years ago.
Okay. I'm like, huh. And am I right in assuming it's a place of power? Or was a place of power?
Correct. You'll see several, if you venture down that low, you'll see several mosaics actually depicting information about the cataclysm. In fact, and she kind of eyes you very, very carefully, Rory, before leaning forward, and it looks like picking off a very small piece of, looks like thread from your cloak. In fact, information about, she kind of holds it up very closely, about what it might have befallen Vanya in greater detail. So several other cities that are around the world that have fallen into similar disrepair. One, and you kind of see she stumbles over a word for a moment, trying to speak something different, and then she says the word Felk.
I don't react.
Figured as much. So that might be, again, useful information to perhaps revisit if you're able to help us in this endeavor. I can speak with the other lilies and allowing you passage down there again, as it might be useful to you.
I think that's where we're eventually going to end up. Because if it's the same as it was the last time we encountered some of these people, they were underground in a place of power, hidden from the world, forgotten by the world.
And if that's the case, then I imagine that the shift lead will have much to say.
I'm so sorry, Sid.
And then I imagine if that is the case, then the shift weave will have much to say.
If it exists down there. It's thin here.
Well, I feel like that might just be the result of whatever lives on the third floor. And, well, if we uncork that, perhaps the shift weave might be able to flow more freely.
Maybe.
Either way.
Either way, that presence will have to go regardless. And the last few weeks have admittedly been frustrating. I think we could all use a bit of stress relief.
What do you mean?
What I do mean is, should we encounter what the cause of any of this is, my question to you is, would you be opposed to that being met with force, I suppose would be the best way to say it?
You'll have to clarify a little bit more with your words.
DM, there's like a being living down here that's the cause of all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is like a problematic element.
A being that is down here that is accelerating things, but from Darcy's conversation, it seems like it's not just this creature that's impacting all of the walls that are like consuming magic and spirit and stuff like that. So, yes and no.
But like, even if it's like not the thing, if it's not the thing responsible, it is a thing responsible, and either way, it has to go, right?
Correct. And
With
she is voiced that one she is fine with you all removing. She has asked though that others maybe don't, if possible, because those are more so like the Bone Weaver, where it's a rarity. It is a resource that they use.
Yeah,
and
there are some things down here that are like that are like live in this environment, and then there's that thing.
Yeah,
no,
she's basically
and the thing I'm specifically talking about is that thing, because it's causing like the Bone Weaver. Like, we've already run into one. That thing wasn't causing like problems with magic and causing people not to exist. I'm not talking about any of those things.
Yeah,
right. So when she says clarification, I'm like, as I understand it, I believe you said that there is something on the third floor that you would like to see dealt with decisively.
Yes. Obviously the person that's been aligned with the Ouroboros. But there is another creature on the third floor that, and she kind of at this moment looks over to the corner, a little blue orb that's kind of dancing with, looks like some kind of drapes underneath like a sigil.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just
like something
fully.
This is my next character.
in my head now, canonically, because you have talked about them just like randomly doing bops. In the back of my mind now, they're doing the like the Wii Shop thing. Yep.
They're dancing off in the corner. You kind of see she just shakes her head for a minute. And I believe she kind of gestures off to them, looking very amused at this moment, just kind of laughing for a second. They might have mentioned if they had gone to lower floor, would make them poof. That creature, we ask that you not destroy. They're one of the guardians that are keeping the place safe for people that are not grave robbing or otherwise.
I'm so sorry. Which creature are we not destroying?
The one that I'm about to talk about, which is this.
Oh, okay.
You're good. You're good. There's a lot
I was like,
jumping
did
around.
I just disassociate?
Nope. She's
Okay.
about to venture into what this thing is, and you've actually seen some of its echoes moving through the hallways. That's what we were actually hiding from. The beings that you were hiding from in this hallway are known as the echoes of the Nightwalker. The thing on the lower floor that we ask that you not destroy is the Nightwalker itself. You can't miss it. It is a massive beast. It stays clear away from the Bone Weaver. They're on opposite halls, I can tell you that at least. This one consumes energy as well, but it reconfigures that energy into shadow. So, you'll notice the shadows are a lot more plentiful in that area. By her reports, at least, it seems your friend, she says in quotations, hasn't been able to turn this beast against us. But it is the beast's home down there. And it is the guardian down into the lower floors.
So as I understand it, you just have a creature who protects the people of this place and the lower floors. And you wish that creature to be unharmed. So
Correct. It's one of
Is
the last of
there-
its kind.
Is there a trust between you and this creature?
Tenuous. But yes.
Okay. Is there any way we could be guaranteed? You say it's tenuous, but what kind of connection do you have? Is like a scent-based thing? Like maybe we can get something that can guarantee a safe passage so that we don't have to encounter it.
We'll give you each a lily to use.
Lily. Okay.
The question I was going to ask, although lilies are I suppose are fitting things, was going to be, is this creature capable? Sorry, is this creature capable? Is this creature capable of being reasoned with?
It can be, but it doesn't have the most patience of temperance.
Right. In that case, ultimately wishing to go. I'll have to think about it. But a way to communicate in a very quick manner. We wish you no harm, and we wish to do harm to the thing that threatens you.
Simply with this, lay the lilies at the grave. There's a grave that's down there on the 3rd floor that marks the outskirts of the chamber. If you lay them at the grave, you'll have safe passage. You'll need to collect those lilies on your way up as a sign of you are not overstaying your welcome. If it sees that the lilies are down there for too long, well, it will go hunting for you.
And how long exactly is too long?
You typically have about a day or two,
Okay.
which with this venture, I think you'll be out in due time. For
Okay.
DM, how long do we have to get back with the Bone Weaver Thread Diary?
Mm.
you have about a day and a half.
Okay.
Well, you know, we are in a bit of a time crunch, so we will try to make our visit as short as possible.
Then we can obviously discuss next time you go down, having the correct floral arrangement that would allow you to pass. So, different flowers have different meanings to it. It may be a beast, but it does appreciate beauty in nature.
What do lilies mean?
Lilies to it are a sign of respect. To lay a lily at a grave. It's a goodbye.
We, when we get to the surface, Roy picks up a secret language of flowers.
Flowers have their own
downloads
language.
it.
Lilies have their own language, as do most flowers. So, as we will cross that bridge, so to speak. But yes, that creature, by all intents and purposes, and as many of the people outside of this room would categorize, is evil. It is different. It is misunderstood. But it is a creature of darkness, but that doesn't make it bad. As she kind of looks at you, Deodora, and just the innate shift weave that kind of just flows off of you. It's just different. And it's just protecting its home.
Right.
So,
We
as
would
long as...
never just attack a creature for no reason.
So as long as you respect it and its home, it will respect you. Now, what arrangement this beast might have with your, and again, she's kind of put quotations and air quotes around your friend, that I can't say. It's possible it has been swayed, but it hasn't been aggressive to us in any way, shape, or form. So it may just be that it's a neutral party.
Neutral party is choosing a side.
Well, I suppose it's a little bit less neutral and a little bit more creatures of instinct, I guess.
And it's an old being, I will tell you that.
There seems to be a cap on the types of things that they can influence. And in this case, I am thankful for such. The wiles of nature are a thing that is a little bit easier to deal with than the wiles of people. And there's like that long, just people.
I think she nods at that in just agreement of like, yeah. They can be a bit more unpredictable. But yes, that is our one and only request, is that if you are coming across this creature in some capacity, please do not destroy it.
Funny enough, it probably sounds very similar to some of the things that started a number of problems in the first place, but that's amusing for another time. In any case, we understand that we're stepping into that creature's territory and we'll respect it as such.
Thank you. Osiris, get them the lilies. And she looks at the one that was behind, who was it? Rory, who kind of nods after a moment and takes a couple steps down the hallway. Bhavani, you can see, has kind of lifted up their mask a little bit more. And you can see it's just it looks like a mark from some kind of blade that hit. That she's, again, just kind of dabbling at it and putting scent of like balsam fills the room.
I want to roll a check here, looking at it, because it's something that she touches. Is there anything about it that looks like an unnatural wound? Things like, does it have like an unusual amount of infection around it? Is it a wound that refuses to close? That kind of thing.
Wound that refuses to close. You can do see the presence of necrosis. But you would also know that the death wounds typically dip their blades in poison. So if this was some kind of altercation between, it's likely that she was swiped with a blade that had been dipped in a very deadly concoction of poison, truthfully. So the fact is, she is fighting it off. She's in pain, but it seems like they are not going to be turning into a zombie, if that is the concern. It's more so just like, this is a fresh wound from probably a day or two ago. And so it's just needing time to air, breathe out, and kind of reseal over.
Oh, since we're here, a question. What encounter led to this, if you don't mind my asking?
Bhavana Do you want to say it, or do you want to me to? And Bhavana, who up until this point hadn't said anything, kind of looks at Darcy and then looks at the much larger one who kind of slowly looms forward and kind of gently puts his hooved hands around Pavana's waist, kind of in a gesture of like a side hug, but also like, I'm here with you. And you kind of see this look exchange in between, and after a moment, I'll speak up. My sister went missing. She's part of the Death Plumes. When she returned, we were a bit shocked. We hadn't heard from her in a week or two. No, Death Plumes were always moving through the catacombs, so it's not unheard of to lose connection with one another. But we always speak through the skulls. But the skulls didn't speak back. And when she came back, she was different, agitated, kept talking about how she would refuse to go quietly and wanted to overthrow Darcy and the other leaders of the Death Plumes. Truthfully, she seemed out of her mind. And we chalked it up to maybe she was just tired. The rest of her group had been wiped out by whatever had gone on one of the lower floors. And it wasn't until I woke up to her stabbing me in the face that altercation happened. Thorbeer, and you kind of see at this moment he just is looking down with her, and even through the mask you can sense the compassion, the sorrow that is just emanating from him. Well, Thorbeer took those blades and returned the favor.
Your sister have any strange markings on her body when she came back?
No, but there was a green stone that looked like it almost been fused into her skin.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We have that stone still.
Okay. Does it look like it was deanimated, or lost its power when she passed?
It's still glowing. We've been keeping it in a lead box for now.
Okay. Good call.
Just
Nobody else should touch it.
Unsure that it was
You
maybe
said-
doing something else.
You said green?
Yeah.
Do you mean... So, I'm going to tell you. What I intend to do is go based on like that same kind of sickly green ethereal color that we've seen from other places.
Yes.
Again, fighting through the nonsense that is magic in this place.
Mhm.
Let me know if you need rolls for that. I use minor illusion to go, do you mean, and I just kind of like swirl a image of like a crystal into existence that emanates that color.
And I think you see the hooves that are kind of around Pavana tighten for a moment, and Pavana just kind of looks away very quickly, shutting their eyes, and then nods.
And there's like an immediate dismissal of the stone, just seeing the strength of that reaction.
And similarly to what Darcy has reported, her soul did not speak to me.
Can I do a medicine check on the wound to like maybe put like a herbal poultice on it or something
Sure.
to like help? Because I think Theodore just has like herbs and shit. Because that's how when they're traveling around,
Yeah,
that's how they
if you need a help action.
I got a 22. I got +3 to medicine, man.
Hey, let's go.
My only good instinct. Oh no, it's wisdom. That's why.
Yes, you do have some kind of poultice or other herbs, you're constantly collecting stuff on hand, I think, in your experiences, Theodora. So yeah, you can easily pull something together to kind of help out with that.
Yeah, like something like that help pull like the poison or toxin or whatever out.
Yeah.
And accelerate the healing.
If you would not mind. You said her name was Pavana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pavana, if you would not mind. I know that at least when it comes to natural medicines, Theodora has talent in these areas. If you would,
didn't even ask permission. I just did it.
If you would care for that, if you would care for, it seems that she's one of the best indeed. All right. Well,
how tall is Pavana?
Pavana's not super tall. She's honestly shorter than you, Theodora.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's the height difference between her and Thorbeer, who's taller than Astani, is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. No one's taller than Astani. What the fuck?
I don't accept that.
Yeah.
So sorry to tell you.
Like it's the pair of people there's always a pair of people in the game who are just like basketball special. It's these two.
Yep. It's
Moss is about to be like, Astani's now a fucking warhorse. I'm fucking huge.
They just look through their bag for their actual 8-inch stilettos, and they're just, excuse me, thank you.
Her platform horseshoes.
I think after a moment, after you're finished kind of applying it, you hear a low rumble from Thorbeer. Goes, "You missed a spot," and kind of just wipes it very gently onto her cheek.
Hold on for a moment.
Theodora's like, bro, I'm just kidding. She doesn't side eye.
And you see Pavani just kind of sigh, is hating this, but at the same time is also loving this at the same time. Yeah.
Loving it.
There is I'm just going to insight this real quick.
Yes.
That's an 18 on insight.
Okay.
The whole insight is, are these two kind of sweet on each other? Is that what we got going on?
Oh, yeah.
No, they're absolutely fucking. No insight check needed.
They're not fucking, I will say, but yes, they are sweet on each other.
Don't
very, just very.
They're not quite there yet. Fair, I will say.
Don't lie to me.
No,
you can see just for that insight, I will say, Rory, you pick up that yes, there's heavy flirtation. Both sides seems to want to have some kind of relationship, but there is definitely some hesitancy on both of their parts. So they're not officially together, but they're starting to wade into those waters.
Okay, so apparently Thorbriar, is that what you said this
Thorbeer.
Thorbeer is giving Waka if I didn't hate them.
A little bit.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, and you can see it's kind of weird for their group as a whole, because Darcy, you can kind of see, is very busying herself looking elsewhere. Trying to give them a moment, but also is trying to be present with the group and
I take a moment to just go, so Darcy, if I could talk to you for a moment, I would like to ask you what kind of preparations, and just kind of lead into what kind of preparations would be good for the third floor so that they can just be distracted with literally anything else.
Theodora's completely oblivious.
Yep. Because it doesn't last long too, because again, the little blue sprite kind of makes their way over after playing with the thing and go, oh, he's touching you. It's just kind of oh, touch. Can I touch?
What?
Can I touch? Touch. It's just you just hear a long drawn out sigh from the both of them as Darcy will, yes, of course, dive into, kind of snap out of it and dive into plans about the lower floors, specifically the third.
I'm gonna take the little guy and put him on Sparky's back. You ride him like a mount.
I think that's what they say. Is like what you'll.
Strategic.
I heard someone say that before they died. So like, it's just,
What?
it's just
Oh my
somebody
god,
going
that's
down
just. Oh my god, that's totally what they said before they died. But
Yeah.
it's every
Mhm.
like that's like
It's
every
literally
bit of wisdom
everything.
that she says.
Mhm.
Okay, but like not, but it's conjuring up the funniest images in my head of like somebody like maybe sliding down like somebody did
Yep.
stone shape and made a slide and like wee,
Yeah.
and then they like crashed real hard into a wall.
Meanwhile,
They're,
like,
like
meanwhile, the-
unsurvivable.
Meanwhile, the camera pans to somewhere in the catacombs, a giant fireball about to go off, and someone with a middle finger going "wee" is like happening instead. Darcy will, yes, she will pour over some plans with you. The lower floor is actually not as massive as the top two floors. The second level seems to be kind of a backup barrier to the first level. Again, if kind of grave robbers, crypt stealers are kind of moving through, more often than not, they're getting lost on the top two floors. Because usually when they make it to the third floor, those are the serious dungeon delvers or have express permission by the death blooms to go further. Unless, again, like the friend that has been mentioned, has been able to weasel their way through. That is something that Darcy will point out. That the problem, this person, did not move through and go down. This person likely came in on one of the lower floors and made their way up. And there is, as she has been on one of the lower floors before, there are central points out of Jorix on the lower floors. Because at that point, you're hitting ocean. But she notes that it would be best if you are not all rested to definitely take a brief respite as much as possible, and to head on down. That the Bone Weaver is, with the entrance they will be giving you, it's pretty much a straight shot, but it will take you past the Nightwalker, and what is very likely the hallway leading towards the friend. Which every time she says friend, again, the blue sprite goes, friend, off in the corner. It's likely that is the space. The entirety of the hallway, if all goes according to your plan, should only take you about maybe 3 hours to go through.
Let's see. We have time for a respite, but I guess I'm going to have to figure out how much time. As I imagine, we're going to need our full faculties.
It becomes much harder to rest the lower you go. It's like, if you've been climbing, I think I put the analogy of a mountain before, but it's like slowly losing oxygen as you go. So you need to
Great.
be aware of that, as you might not be able to have all of your abilities in check. Come up with backup plans. There are subsections of the catacombs where spells, and she kind of gestures off to Bhavani for a moment and then quickly looks away because it sees that they're still having a moment, that your spells may not be as effective as you would normally plan on. So it's best to have a backup.
Some people have backups. Currently, we have Deodora, which I feel should probably be, quite honestly, the initial plan. And the backup plan being maybe I throw knives well, never mind. I will not mention it. So, for better or for worse, I do have an idea.
Good. We like I said, we'll take your point, so to speak, but might be best to take, as mentioned, a rest here before you progress forwards, even for a short time, and then we will, she kind of eyes the wall where you see, again, the blue sprite is kind of moved. There are several of these large kind of tapestries of just fabric, not even depicting anything. They're just red fabric, kind of blue fabric. It seems to kind of be swinging with it, again, kind of still singing its song every burn, burn, as it's moving. And you just see her kind of shake her head. We can get you to one of the entranceways to the lower floor. And from then on, at least for now, you'll be on your own. And at this point, Osiris has come back with the lilies as well.
Okay. Well, I suppose that will need to do.
Sin.
Rory, you're whispering again.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I need to just talk to myself when I'm trying to think about how to do things. Right. Well, it looks like we'll need to take a small moment of respite, recharge whatever energies that allows you, and then forge our way forward. This is admittedly going to be a bit challenging for me, as there's a lot that you can foresee, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to foresee any of this.
Well, let me know when you guys are rested, because I'm fine.
I'm all right. I'm more worried about what my spells could do down there, so...
If you all want to take some time and maybe coordinate that, might be good. Darcy will kind of gesture off towards where the other side of the mess hall, there are more of the like tables and stuff, but you can also see there are some makeshift like cots set up there as well, in case you wanted to grab a quick snooze or to get a little bit more comfortable than kind of standing or sitting at these stone desks.
They better have charcuterie board for our girl. She don't go to sleep without a snack. I'm just saying, like,
her stomach has been rumbling this entire time. Just small little ones where she's just like coughing, like little.
We can get you some food.
Sorry, but like to Darcy though.
So delicate.
I know this is too much to be present here, but I'm looking for maybe a ring or necklace, something to store some spells. Is that possible?
I can look and see on what things we might have on loan right now. Several of our other teams haven't reported back, and we usually try and share the items. So I can see what I can find out, but I can't guarantee that.
No, it's just a...
Can maybe somebody store a spell in Sparky or something?
I was just about to ask you about for this for Sakali, because it is a spirit, like...
I'll allow it. I'm gonna have you roll for it, because it's, again, similar. You're imparting, and in this hallway where it's kind of eating that kind of magic, you certainly could do so. It's gonna be a difficulty with it, but yeah.
I am going to.
I think just because of the nature of what they're trying to do, it would probably be a good idea for me to offer the help action on this, because you're just like, I am trying to bind a magical energy to a spiritual creature, and that's that weird science shit.
Yep.
So I'm gonna offer help there.
Okay.
And just because I know that the DM likes flavor for these things, I am going to attempt to explain. Well, a little bit unusual, but okay. Well, from my memory of soul sciences, this is the model that you want to use, and I explain, like, I kind of like explain like a fifth grader explanation for how I built the capability for Blackstone to use magic.
Gotcha. Understood. I will be right back. You all carry on real quick.
So, you're planning to use Sparky. I want to use Sakali as well. I am not without my spells. I cannot be without my spells.
Well, your spells are useful, yes, but I think it's important to remind yourself, and kind of for the nature of what you are going to have to do while you're there. There were plenty of things that you were before you learned magic, and there will be plenty of that after still. But as far as binding magic to Sakali and to... I completely forgot that I were your dog. Sparky.
Sparky?
Right.
Oh
Took me
my
a second.
god, I quit. He's been here since the beginning?
I was about to say
Sparky just
Clifford.
looks over to you like,
I was about to say Clifford. Clifford, no.
Pretty much
Beethoven,
Clifford,
no.
yeah.
But it was just like going, well, for Sakali and Sparky, if you want to bind the energy to cast one spell to their souls, the question that I have for you would be, do you want a specific one or just the energy to cast one?
energy.
A little bit more of a challenge, but it's like 2 extra lines of equations. So anyway, here's what you're looking for. It's the at a certain distance from things, when we don't use the categories of arcane magic or the shift weave or spirit energy, there is just the energy that makes things. So you're just using energy to make things. And you'll need to visualize Sakali having the energy to use things.
All right. Good. This would help. They're the touch of it anyway, so it shouldn't be too difficult for them. So, and how many would I do?
I would say
Would this help?
roll a d4.
It's a 3.
You can store 3.
All right, Sakali, come here. Come here, dear. Nope, I said come. Come.
He eventually wanders over.
Good. Good boy. All right. Now,
Hold on. I
say-
think Theodora taught us a thing for this. Hold on. Let me use this real quick. 'Cause I think
And Darcy does see this exchange and kind of does pipe up. I like this plan. It may be good also to have a backup in case Sakali... And she kind of looks at the blue sprite for a minute. Poofs. If you all are having difficulty on the lower floors, they're going to have that same difficulty.
But accounting for that, that means Sakali may be able to do at least one thing. So you'll want to make sure at least one of those spells is an important one to use.
I would agree. But it is something to keep in mind. I don't want you all to be surprised.
Is she implying that we can use a little sprite guy?
No.
No.
if you
'Cause
took
I was
this
gonna-
down,
Oh, okay,
like-
because I was like,
No,
I
she's
was gonna ask
implying-
them
No,
to-
the
I was
implication
gonna
is
ask
that
them
that
to
space will unsummon your pets.
babysit. I was gonna ask them to babysit.
No,
so,
she's implying that your like Sparky and Sokali and
It
Corbin
will unsummon your pets.
will might be unsummoned because
Well.
of the difficulty. So
Well,
Corbin's watching from summon space, probably about to cuss me out, but I'm just like, you're staying in there because I'm not taking you into non-existence. I'm so sorry.
yep. And by non-existence, it's just like literally they can be
Just
summoned
into summon
later.
space.
It's just now
Yeah.
they won't be able to. It's kind of like going into an area with no service.
I suppose while we're thinking about this, I think the only thing that's left is either ice or shadow.
Oh, that's the word.
Ah,
which one? I
Shadow.
swear to God, I'm gonna drop off this fucking call. If it's fucking
I've been
Shadow.
sitting here thinking it's Shadow too.
I'm gonna drop off this fucking call if it's fucking Shadow.
Last episode,
you're
I was like, it
you're
can't be
so
Shadow.
Close, you're so close. Literally, nothing I said was even.
You were.
No,
Like,
I
was
had
the
Shadow
opposite
written down on my
but it's the opposite
on my stupid
of.
notepad,
Right, but
it's
and I was like, it
closer
doesn't
than
fit
paper.
everything.
It's closer
But
than
you're saying-
paper.
Okay, so you're saying I'm close, so I'm thinking about things that are warmth. So I'm gonna drop off this fucking call if it's Shadow. I swear
With
to
Shadow,
fucking God.
yeah.
Okay, bye. Like, fine, I won't. But I am not happy about that. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it was a shadow. Paves the way, usually causes you to stop. What can you do to get the shadow to go away? You burn it away with light. So that's why I was like, you're close. Because you do burn it.
Nah.
What do you do?
I am unhappy. Anyway, moving on.
Anyways. But yeah, just something to be mindful of.
Okay.
And just let us know when you're ready. Darcy will step back, kind of going over some other plans. You see every now and then she reaches onto her table to just a lone skull that she seems to talk to every now and then, passing along some messages before continuing onwards. Seemingly giving you all a little bit of space to kind of figure out what it is your game plan's going to be.
So,
Oh god.
oh, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say Deodora doesn't really participate in this because she's not a magic user, so she ain't got nothing for you.
Well, so it looks like for what we have going on here, we have things that we actually need to do violence to, and then the rest of it is just going to be minding our manners as we walk down the hall. What I will say is the other thing that we will need to be concerned about is, I suppose, in a way, ourselves. In the same way that Astani and I use spirit energy and you use your connection to the shadow weave, we're going to have to probably use those energies on occasion to just bolster ourselves while we are making our way through those halls.
First of all, never say the word shadow to me ever again.
Oh, right. My apologies.
It's
But,
fine.
There's that. Also, and once again, not sure whether or not there's going to be, whether the darkness that we're going to experience is natural or unnatural. I suppose we'll have to also keep an eye out for Astani. I will not be able to, or it probably wouldn't be prudent for me to try to use magic to light our way. So we will do what we can to be your eyes. Other than that, well,
Can we just not use a torch?
I honestly do not know, but
Which
my
should have been the
understanding-
answer to that riddle.
My understanding is so far, Deodora, in our process of getting here, we haven't run into a single one. This thing seems to consume energy, natural or otherwise, and that also includes torches. So if we had one, I don't imagine it would last long.
Well,
So, I suppose that's it. It's challenging, but uncomfortably straightforward, I guess.
are you two gonna be okay?
As Roria said, I was a person before magic. I just want it ready in case anything were to happen to any of us. So, with Sakali, I have a couple of backups. Now, I'm hopeful that we won't have to use them, talented as you are, and they boop Sakali's nose, and then they will, as long as we have prepared everything else, I'm ready.
And is it possible that maybe some of that energy could be put into an object instead, so that way you do have a backup? Like maybe
Normally-
your mall or something?
Yes.
Normally those are for. Do you happen to have like a precious stone, an amethyst, a topaz, any of those things?
I
Sorry.
do.
Fair.
Those normally serve as fairly powerful conduits for magic if it ever needs to be used, or at least for storing them.
I gasped because I was like, you should put them in your bells.
That would be amazing, and that is something I want to build with Jordan, honestly. But
You should make crystal bells.
Each of the bells are supposed to be like different sizes, and they have different spells to them. But when they say something about a jewel or gem, there is something that they pull out from a pocket, and it's like a sapphire, the shape of a star. But they like hold on to it, and Ostani's face is the most concerned about imbuing magic into it before they say no, nothing to put anything into, and it's just way too obvious that it's I if I try to hide it, I feel like her bells would deceive her, just being like as she moved to try and hide it. If I could put it into my cloak or the bells, that would be easiest, but I think for now I have mace. I have a cup 3 spells with Sakali.
Herein the issue that perhaps that has sentimental value. That is your story to share when you're ready to. But what I can tell you about the principles of arcane magic, at least, is that your crystals are going to be the best bet for storage. Your maces or other materials, mostly because of materials, are going to allow you to have a single casting of one thing, but it will only hold that energy for a limited amount of time, usually depending on the kind of material that it has and its ability to hold enchantment magic. There's a lot of theory into that, and it's complicated.
That's just discriminatory. I should be able to put a spell in my sword.
Oh, you can. You just can't hold it for a very
No,
long
it should
time.
be there forever.
Oh, forever.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
That deals with enchantment, and we do not have the time. I have the inclination, but not the time. Typical enchantment process is about 8 hours, and we do not have that time.
No.
But if you did it, your sword could hold a single spell for, well, forever, or while supplies last.
Good to know.
As for my part, well, we do have these, and I take out like the crossbows and dagger that we got from Felk and go, well, I do have these, and well, much like my brother would be the best way to describe that. Much like my brother, our greatest magic is that we're resourceful.
Oh, good. Great. Could we at least
Oh,
sit
no.
for tea?
Yeah.
Darcy, is there honey hot water?
Yeah.
You seem somewhat stressed, Ostani. Are you okay?
I just haven't had food or tea or maybe a good star or stars. I haven't star mapped in a second.
Do you guys have charcuterie board?
No, but
He loves a charcuterie board.
Sweetie, it's not one thing. It's like a set of things that, and I don't know if they would have it. And the
do you need a
cheeses.
space to like pray or something?
I think she's hungry.
I'm.
Don't you all have rations or something? I mean, I can look and see what we have, but
Mm-hmm.
I like look at Darcy, and I'm like, and my face says, "Does this look like a centaur woman that eats rations?" Like,
Listen,
that's
you
what
might
my
have some
face
fancy
says.
rations.
I
I don't know.
I literally just asked if you had charcuterie board.
No.
Like, what do you mean?
They are not fancy down here.
Mhm. Yes, prayer. Prayer is where we center ourselves. So I will go do that and return. And we will have some tea, have some rest, and whatever other items we need to get ready for. Yes,
I can do a not strenuous activity, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Lily, a question for you. Sorry, Darcy.
I was gonna say, which Lily are you talking to?
Do you happen to have anything in the area that needs repairing?
No, not at this time. There will be more, at least on the lower levels. I can tell you that.
I pull out something and break it in
I-
front
No,
of
like-
Lord.
No, like it's one of those moments, because we do love a callback. One of those moments is just like, wait, okay. And in their satchel is a random stick, like just a small
Oh, right. I
stick.
forgot about the stick.
They just break the stick. They use bending to fix the stick, and they're just like, I suppose this will do. And that is like what they spend the rest of their short rest doing.
I think for my short rest, because I don't need it, I think I'll like rummage through my pack and take out like rations and stuff and put together almost like a gas station charcuterie board for a study. It's like Slim Jims and like Cheetos and stuff
like Slim Jims and like Lance's cheese crackers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
So it's like somebody who's never made a charcuterie board and only has a vague idea of what it is puts together it's like little pepperoni slices and like those little baby bell cheeses.
Yes, you can
It's
easily
some-
put that. I think you find like a slab of stone that's pretty clean too, that you can like lay this all out for Astani. Meanwhile, Astani.
I got the combos
Yeah.
on the plate.
They're just smoothing them
It's the
like their
It's the pizza
outfit
flavor
down.
ones.
They're like clearing out their bells, or they're going to somewhere quiet, and I would like to describe it as like they will have like a set of they'll do like a bell to like cleanse the area, and like a line of thread to signify the light, the like the veil that will center in the temple district. And almost as if like the gems have like are repelling magnets to kind of help it propel together, and that's what they're going to use, and they're going to set their altar around certain like blossoms that they've collected that represent life and death and mourning and grief and like and passing, and each step of it they're just no charcuterie, okay, it's fine, no. And then it's like a practice of meditation where as soon as every thought comes in, they're letting it live and then letting it go away before finally like putting like their hands together and close to their chest to pray to the lady.
And Darcy at this moment has brought you back to kind of a small alcove, which is often used for prayer, specifically to Lady of the Veil. You can see her kind of motifs around this alcove. There's a small statue to her as well, and several candles. Several offerings have also been laid out. It's not a massive alcove, honestly. It's truthfully, it's a small study room that's been kind of set aside, but doesn't have a door, so it's why they call it the mini alcove, so to speak. But you're able to kind of take some time and focus in. And you feel that connection. It's weaker, but it's there. It takes a few minutes for it to kind of take place, but after a little bit, you do feel her presence. But it's like truthfully like looking from miles and miles away. And in a way you are. There's a massive stretch, not only physically, but also spiritually, especially within these chambers that are eating energy. Even on the recesses of it, you're still feeling it. But you do feel that connection very gingerly and lightly take place. And that, like, if anyone was observing you in this moment, it looks almost like a veil is being placed over you as that connection is being made. What are you doing during this time, Miss Tani?
I think there is a humbling, slow, like, death of their ego, just trying to, like, put whatever they need aside, whatever they want aside, what they wish for, hope for, everything of self aside. And then as they're slowly unpacking it with the emptiness being ready to receive, they're just like, they're hoping to
keep going. You're good.
they're hoping to pray, commune with the lady. That it's not that they are expecting answers, but they're just hoping for a glimpse into how they could help their friends and fellow loved ones, and like try and take care of what they're here to do without losing their purpose, as well as a grave cleric, as a veil cleric, and then just try and I think try and center themselves by talking to the Lady of the Veil.
A connection comes through quietly. Not as pronounced as she is in other spaces and spots. But I think you hear her whispering in your ear words of encouragement that you're so close. But also words of warning, of being careful. Because you are in this moment, very outskirts of where she currently holds dominion. Again, kind of nod back to what Darcy was kind of mentioning of the voices of the dead being taken. And I think that warning kind of just slowly... Sorry, I'm trying to find the song that I want, and it's not working. Slowly just kind of stays with you as you are slowly kind of studying, every now and then being interrupted by the kind of gurgle from your stomach. But I think you do get a bit of fear. And then interestingly enough, another voice seems to trail through, making connection while you are praying. And it's one that you're familiar with. You've heard their voice dozens and dozens and dozens of times. You know their presence anywhere. That reassuring silence, second only to the Lady of the Veil herself. And Keeper Reyna speaks up after a moment. Well, you have been busy, haven't you?
Well, I'm only supposed to be busy. Unless you wish me back. I do have star charts to finish.
No, you're good. It's just been a bit since you've reported in, so I believe I sent word to one of your, and she sounds like she's holding back a smile and a laugh when she's saying this, but one of your men was waiting, I think, around an area where you were staying. They were doing a good job of making sure your exact location wasn't noted, but quite the interesting individual. I hope my message was passed along.
Your message was clear. I have yet to come back, return, report to you. But that is on the top of my agenda as soon as I am on the ground.
Kind of hear this long, kind of pregnant pause. Right. Okay. Before laughter kind of comes to the connection of, I can tell you have a very interesting tale to tell.
A
Well,
lot of little details are still lost to me. I kind of stand in the background through a lot of it. Honestly, it is incredible how much Rory and Theodora have held for so long without a grand team. And I don't even wish to start talking about that, but I'm more of an observer in those moments. And when I can be useful, I try to be, but it's still this a moment of trying to find my part or place or cue. Still, other than the incredible grave details I could tell you in our next report, I think I am protected and in good hands.
why do you think that the Lady of the Veil chose you?
I think their face their face or their action says it more than they're trying to find that word, but immediately Asani's face is like I don't know. And that pause happens before they finally say, of course, it's because I have shown to be very dutiful, worked really hard, and I am out here trying to find the answer. And and they're gonna keep going until they catch that pause with Reina and just yes, that.
Sure, you do the investigations, you are on the ground looking. But apologies, my familiar is very excited to hear your voice. But that's no different than Daria or any one of us. You don't need to find your path, position. But the fact of the matter is, Asania, maybe you'll come to realize this with time. You were chosen by the Lady of the Veil, not by what you were offering, but by doing something that none of us can. Truthfully, it's just by being you. That can't be taught. That's something so innately part of you. And your ripple effects. Your fledglings feel it. We all feel the ripples coming off. But no one can learn to be you. The Lady of the Veil saw that. You are not useful just for what you offer, but by just being you. You're already filling and fulfilling that role. Now, I don't know this Theodora or this Rory Blackstone that you've mentioned a couple of times now, but the wording that I was told is they're experts in their fields. I don't think they would let someone alone that isn't an expert in themselves. And in this space, either. They know you are. You have nothing to prove. or you do it every day?
It's easy to do it in a space that I understand. Here, I am fighting against time to prevent the death of so many. I hope I could meet that level. And I'm sure you believe I can. You've seen that I can. I just, on the day-to-day, it feels as if we trade in 1 for 3 more, and then 3 more of questions and answers that we're closer to, but still, it's like unraveling. Oh my goodness, do you remember the past keeper who would knit for hours?
Mm-hmm.
And through every meeting, that they're... It's like when you trip through them and see them having to untangle everything. But the meticulous process of it is just...
Why do you think I play chess during a lot of our meetings? It's my brain sorting through all of those things. And sometimes having a physical representation for that makes it a little bit easier to process. Doesn't solve it. But that's what it means to be a leader, to be an expert, to be you. And I will deny it otherwise, as I'm supposed to remain impartial. But I believe that's why you were chosen over Daria. Daria's not at that point yet of seeking help, of weighing pros and cons, and confiding in others. Why do you think I confide in you and the other watchers? You are not in this alone. I confide in the Lady of the Veil all the time. To be a leader is to understand when you need help and to ask for it and not be too prideful to ask for it. You have a lot on your shoulders, but you aren't in it alone. You have them, you have us, you have the lady. You can't predict what's going to happen. You can prepare. You can make sure that others around you are prepared. You can have backup plans. But ultimately, you cannot control what others do. And if you live your life weighing everything and wins and losses, deserving and undeserving, then you're not going to live a life. Someone is always going to feel lost. And whether that's deserved or not, that's not for us as watchers and keepers to decide. We get people, we get individuals to that point. We work as intermediaries. And you kind of hear a laugh coming through. The bartenders to the undead, if you want to call it. Hearing their stories, seeing their lives play out. And ultimately, while we don't decide where they go, we do take them to that threshold of what lies beyond. If we can't do that for ourselves, how can we possibly do that for others? So be kinder to yourself, Astani. For if I will voice a concern that I worry you'll break. But I have trust in the lady and I have trust in you. But you have nothing to prove.
Thank you.
Well, just promise me you'll make my next chess game more lively than usual with the information you'll be giving.
True. The one in your office, is that still running?
Yeah. It's been going now for 3 weeks, 5 days, and 22 minutes.
Am I still the one that you're running it with?
Yeah. Daria
Not
isn't
any
much for
moves.
games.
All right. Then I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will come back with my full report. And knight to e5.
We'll see if that's checkmate. And you see and feel the presence kind of slowly lifting. It's almost like when rain slowly begins to fall. Not pouring, it's just you can see the little essence kind of leaving you. After some time, you do wind your way back towards the hall, where you can see that Diodora has on a slab of stone, seemingly laid out, some beef jerky, some very stale bread that honestly could be crackers at this point. A small assortment of probably jam, maybe
Probably
dried
jam.
fruits.
dried fruits
Dried-
that have been
dried
smashed,
fruits.
maybe, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, an assortment.
Ooh, and
No, I think
the
they're
hot
just
tea,
there
is that
dry.
ready yet?
She's
Yeah?
not gonna smash dry fruit.
There
She's
is
not that much of a fucking heathen. Come on now.
there is hot water in a bone tea pot that is at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sick.
several glasses that are literally carved bone.
Well, this is full blushing and just well, no words. I am starving, so at the quick glances at Diodora was just like, thank you.
Oh,
And
you're
we'll
welcome.
start
I feel
pouring.
like charcuterie is, I think, the only thing Deodora's seen you like eat. Like,
I think Osani is an acts of services, like just like, oh, you took care of me. My goodness. I will eat whatever you make. That is
my
incredible.
God.
Love it. And I think that is where we will stop for today, as we'll pick up with this charcuterie tea party next week, along with delving down into the lower level of the catacombs. Great job, y'all. Woo! You
I
did
got
it.
beef. I got beef.
I know you do.
You had beef this entire time?
And
Only in my heart.
but that is where we are going to call it for today. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much for all the raids today. So kind. So thank you so much to the Phoenix Pack, Ricky, Catchy Cantrips I saw sneak in here. And I want to make sure I don't forget. Sword and Key also raided us. So thank you all so much for doing that. And we're happy that you could join us on today's adventure. Let's go around real quick and say who we are and where we can find and support all the wonderful things that you're doing. Let's pop over to Maz.
Hello, I am Maz. My pronouns are she, they. I am a voice actor and variety streamer, content creator, and also an AP performer. So the next thing I will be on is Coffee and Chaos tomorrow at, I can't remember the time, to 11 a.m. EST with Forgotten Adventures. It is a modern AU where our D&D party runs a cafe, but this is episode 2. Where Alu returns from work and he is the baker and he is in trouble because we had to run a shop without him. So it will be really, really fun. And it is a couple of episodes that we do in between seasons. And yeah, so I'm really excited. And then over at my TTRPG channel, Starcrawl RPG, the next show for Vaesen is coming out in June. So have a look out for any of those promos and come check us out.
Wonderful. We'll pop on over to our Sunflower Sin.
Hi, your resident sunflower being who's having like a little shimmy over here. Bears is kind of like, what is going on? That's what's happening.
I thought you were doing the
yeah.
single ladies dance or something.
I might have been, but no. So hi, greetings, salutations. I'm a resident sunflower person who has been your he, him, worry inventor person who has gone several days now without biting an ice cube. But when you find me here, you can find me doing the inventing and blacksmithing things until I don't. On Thursdays, you can find me hanging out with Major Linux talking about the tech industry, parenthesis, derogatory. And otherwise hanging out on here occasionally, playing your RPGs and roguelites and Metroidvanias and other story-based games because they're fun.
True. And we'll pop on over to Fair. Oh, you were muted, love.
Didn't unmute when I tried to unmute. Hi, I'm Fair. You can find me on socials, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, here on Twitch at Fairbear. Maybe I'll stream again someday. I don't know. Maybe it'll be this weekend. I don't know that either. Not tonight, because I want to sleep. But
Valid.
maybe it's a long weekend. Maybe I'll be live. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. You can also find me starting next month over. I don't even remember the channel because that's how unprepared I am to announce that. But I'm going to be doing a charity series in June for Juneteenth. We'll be supporting trans lives. So, you know what? Check out my socials when I post it because I really don't remember. We're going to be playing Die. It's going to be fun. We're going to be playing a bunch of adults going into a nostalgic video game and just seeing what kind of bullshit we get into. So, but yeah, I'm totally unprepared because I literally just thought, I was like, oh, I should announce that. And I'm like, I don't have any of the information in front of me right now. But yeah, but I'm going to be doing some charity stuff in June. So just keep an eye out for that. It'll be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It was already like head assery, but we had our session 0. So
Incredible. And last but certainly not least, hi everyone, I'm D&D Lee. She, they pronouns. I will be back here tomorrow with some Dragon Age and then our usual schedule this week. And then, hey, more Ampistrano next Saturday. So make sure to tune in. We only have like 4 episodes left in this season. So we are closing in on the end game for this season for sure. So will be a time. So come and hang out. Thank you all so much. Thank you, mods, as always. Thank all of you for joining us. And we will catch you next time. Bye, everybody.
Beyond the Veil, she forgot to say that.
Thank you. Yeah, my brain is starting to mush. Thank you. All right, bye.